I'm kind of in awe of the whole thing, and that I'm standing next to the car that's been around the whole entire planet.
The Land Cruiser was our lifeline. It not only constituted our transportation, but it was also our home. It was our power supply. It was where we stored our food and our water. Every aspect of life sort of folded into this vehicle.
My name's Eric Bizek, and I'm the owner of JDM Legends in Salt Lake City, Utah. They're cool cars. Today we're at the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum, where I've been checking out all these incredible models of the Land Cruiser from old to new. This is absolutely incredible. It's the first one, and it's incredible that you have one here. And next I'm going to learn from a true legend in the Land Cruiser industry. So this is it. This is the Land Cruiser that's been around the world, right?
This is it, yeah. As far as we know, this is the only four-wheeled vehicle that's ever touched Earth on all 7 continents.
Being able to meet Greg Miller was truly incredible. I mean, I've heard a little bit about his Expedition 7, and I really wanted to learn more about what really drives somebody to decide to go on a mission like that, and really, you know, what it takes to plan for a mission like that. And really what the process is. I mean, what's it like to more or less live in a Land Cruiser on 7 different continents?
This is the hero vehicle of the fleet. It's a 2012 BDJ 78. We've dubbed it Fernway. Fernway, I learned as part of the expedition, is a German word that describes the emotion that you feel when you're standing at the harbor and you see the ships coming and going and you long to be on one of them, so that you can have that sense of exploration and what's over the horizon. So I thought Fernway was the perfect moniker for this vehicle. It's the first four-wheeled vehicle that's been on all 7 continents. They weren't on freeways, I can tell you. We did the Canning Stock route. We took it to Antarctica. We took it across the Namib Desert, 300 miles of huge sand dunes. And so every continent we kind of tried to drive across the iconic Overland Route. So I'm just gonna warn you, there's a magical sort of scent that this car carries. It reminds me of the adventure that we had. Wow, yeah, so as you can see, not a lot of fancy instrumentation. Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. Air conditioning and heater. You got a tach, you got a speedo, a thermometer, and a battery, an amp gauge, and that's about it.
So I was really struck by Greg's connection to the Land Cruiser, not only the physical form of the Land Cruiser, but the way that it's been able to get him into connection with new friends and be able to share these new places and new experiences with the people he loves. What's it like to live inside something like this?
When we were out in the bush or out in the field, we could configure this rear area to be a sleeping platform. And I can open this, it's a little tight here, but I can give you a look at this, and you can see that with the second row seat, it'll tumble forward, and then that back of the seat becomes part of the sleeping platform. Okay. And then we just roll our sleeping pads out right here and our sleeping bags on top of that with a pillow, and we'd sleep great, especially, you know, we've got that little heater where we could get the air circulating when we were in Siberia and stuff, and that saved us a time or two.
It's cool for me to see how you can equip this thing to do something like this and be able to essentially, you know, kind of more or less live out of it.
Yeah.
So what would you say was the biggest challenge that you had along this journey?
The singular moment where it's like, how are we going to get out of this jam, happened in the middle of the Australian outback. There was a storm, and one of the salt pans had filled with water, and we were traveling in not super deep water. Initially, it was just a few inches, but as we started going through it, it got deeper and deeper, and the road went right, and the caravan went left, and a couple of these 8,000-pound 78 Land Cruisers wound up just kind of sinking in that gooey mud. We affectionately refer to it as the wormhole experience. And it took all 3 of the vehicles that you see here and every foot of winch cable and extension line and tree protector that we had to connect all that, and the max tracks and everything, and it was an all-night deal just getting these trucks out of there.
Every trick you had in the bag came out.
Yeah, we left it all in the field that night. And I can tell you that during the expedition, we encountered all kinds of road conditions and weather conditions, whether it was sand, ice, intense heat, intense cold. I guess I really wasn't that surprised to experience the Land Cruiser just sailed smoothly through all of it.
Wow. And what do you think one of the biggest accomplishments of the whole thing?
Well, I think for me, it was the moment that we arrived in South America and we unloaded Fernway from the truck. It was shipped in a kind of an enclosed cargo truck. So we had to drive it out onto a flatbed, a rollback wrecker, and then use that to ramp down to the ground. And as soon as those back tires hit the street in South America, this became the first vehicle to actually travel across all 7 continents. When you have that much concentrated need, you obviously have a need for reliability. And we knew, obviously at the outset, that Land Cruiser was the vehicle of choice because of its legendary reliability, and that's, of course, one of the reasons we chose it. Well, this has been a really great experience for me to kind of have you drag me back down memory lane, and so I've got a little something for you in this car over here that I'd like to give you as a good luck charm as you continue on your journey.
Okay.
So this is an offering that we have for our guests at the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum. We've got a little placard that every vehicle in the museum is outfitted with, and then we've got a license plate frame that you can put on your 77.
Thank you so much, Greg. I mean, this has been, truly inspiring to hear about, this whole expedition and what it takes to do it, and honestly, to have the ambition to do something like that. That speaks something about you. So I'm kind of in awe of the whole thing, and that I'm standing next to the car that's been around the whole entire, planet. So thank you so much for having me, Greg.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Okay. One of the trails I've always wanted to do is called the Black Dragon. It's going to be some narrow canyons. We're going to see some washes. We're going to see some technical areas. But I think at the end of this, I'm going to get to this beautiful vista. I'm really excited to just get out on the trail and see what this little Land Cruiser can do.